Hey, what's up, guys? It is your girl, Donjia M Walls, and we are back with another Ask 15 Questions 2. And I pulled them away from their busy lives. They are world renowned.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, Lord. And we're going to introduce them separately, but I love just Couples Connect. Like, that's who you are now. That is your brand. That is your name now, no longer separate. But we are here with the one and onlys, Couple Connect, Akita and Latisha, sorry. Thank you all so much for being a part of Ask 15 Questions. Thank you for accepting the invite. As busy as you are, I appreciate it. How are you?
We are great.
We're good. We're good. Yeah. I mean, you gave a lot in that intro, so we got to meet up to that.
I know, right?
We are
excited to be a part of what you're doing. You know,
yes,
we love supporting other entrepreneurs, other people who are, stepping out and
making it happen. Yes. And we've got a chance to see you, Donjia, since like the genesis almost somewhat, and it's just been such a growth, and we are so happy for you and proud of you. So
thank you so much. I appreciate that. We are going to jump in because I have something that I did not tell them that we are doing, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to come at the end. Y'all know I love to do a bonus, so they don't know about it. But we are going to jump right into these questions. Statement number 1, tell us about yourselves individually.
Gosh, you want to go first? You want me to?
Yeah, I'll go first. I am Latisha, also known as Tisha Talks. I'm a wife, a mother of 5. I am the host of a podcast entitled Boss Ladies Connect, and I empower and encourage women to live out their purpose. And so I do a lot of things surrounding that: conferences, workshops, events, and online activities. So yeah, that's me.
That's one half. She's got a whole nother list. We can go on this whole conversation.
On.
Exactly. Yep. And so my name is Akita. I am a husband. I'm a father. I am a musician, and I am a singer. I also own, or we co-own a business consulting group. So we focus on those scaling businesses where you kind of just started from a startup and you're looking to grow. We help you grow and get to where you're trying to go. We've worked with a lot of people. I have been a lot of places with my music, all around the tri-state area and beyond. So just grateful and humble to God for the opportunities.
Yeah, they are so modest. They are. I love it. Akita, we could drop bombs like with the Nikeo. And first off, I was their biggest fan.
Oh, please.
Hands down.
I'll be the biggest fan.
Hands down, every time, every album, every listening party, every concert, I was there. But yes, all of this information that they're saying we are going to have in the description box. Believe me, if you have not heard Tisha's podcast, listen to me. First off, follow her on Instagram because she caters to people like me who forget the days and times. And she send you a message like, hey, girl, don't forget, And I'm like, this is why I need you in my life, because I did forget. And now I can just click it and go to it. Her podcast is amazing. She has had some amazing, amazing guests on there. I have like a section in my notebook. Like when I listen to your podcast, I'm like jotting things down, taking things away. I don't know if you knew that. And I'm like listening like, okay, I need to, all right. I love it. And Akita, musician-wise, amazing vocalist. I wish I could, I think I do have clips like of you singing that I may just like insert.
You have been so good to me. Yes, you have, for I took a breath. You breathe your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. And all the overwhelming, never-ending.
I may do that, but that is who they are. Question number 2. How did you both meet? Akita looked at you. You want to tell your version? Or
right. We go through this all the time because we have 2 different.
No, we actually went to the same church.
Okay.
And we did not talk to each other. We did not even know each other. We just went to the same church for years, I think.
I don't know how many years he went for.
Yeah.
I was there.
You were there longer
faithfully.
than I was.
Yes, I was there for a long time.
I kind of, yeah.
Akida.
I showed up every now and then.
I'm like, is this your church or are you visiting?
If I had a rough Saturday night, then I probably would show up on Sunday.
There we go. I
That's
mean, he's just like, it doesn't matter. I was there. Are you here?
Yeah, exactly. So,
wow.
Yeah, so I think after some time, you were looking to start. She was looking to start some type of business, making extra money on the side, and she needed. It was one of those like pyramid, I guess.
It was not a pyramid.
It was a pyramid.
But I needed a team. It was not a pyramid. I mean, I actually got licensed and everything. Mm-hmm. But I did need a team. I needed people under me.
Right. It was a licensed pyramid. And so I'm kidding. But yeah, so she wanted to get like a team, and she was looking at some of her friends in the church. And I was friends with one of her friends. So she asked me to come and see what I thought about it. At that point, we all started like training together. So that we can all work for our license. And she noticed how,
here go the twist.
she noticed how much of a catch I was. So she was like, let me not miss out on this opportunity.
No, we was having a training session, right? And I'm like, we're role playing. Like if someone says this, what do you do? He's like all into it. Everybody in there is like, should we leave the room? Like, and that's the first time I was like, oh, what is happening?
Akita's noise versus yours was like, he was like, you was like, no, I was like, oh. I love it. And then there was history after that.
That's history.
Okay, I think every married couple has an A and a B selection of their meat story. Like because no one wants to admit that they were the one that was like gung-ho at first. And I love it. I love it. Okay, question number 3.
Yes.
Who said I love you first?
Now this one is only one version.
Right.
Okay.
So funny story, right? So we were dating for a little while. And we were texting each other. And I think you went to the other room or something like that.
Yeah, I had like a lot of my girlfriends over.
She was having a little get together. She went to the other room, and I guess her cousin picked up her phone and she saw the conversation. So I'm thinking I'm still talking to Tisha. I'm like, okay, cool, miss you. You think about me, this, that, and the other. She's like, oh yeah, boo, you my bae, this, that, and the other. So then she's like, I think she asked me, do you love me or something like that?
I don't even know. I wasn't there.
She wasn't there. So I answered, I was like, yeah, I was like thinking about it. I was walking through the room. I'm like, Dad, should I say I love her? Should I ask me this question? So I was like,
I'm in the room eating chicken somewhere.
And look, I had my boy with me. I was like, yo, look at this text, man. She would ask me if I love her. What you think? You think, I do love her, but you think I should tell her? You know how that go, right? Like, I don't want to lose the advantage. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, dude, if you love her, just tell her, man. Just tell her.
Oh.
So I tell her, I'm like, yes, I love you. And I felt all this relief, like this pressure just off me. I was like, wow, man, I'm really in love. And then 5 minutes later.
No, because, what he doesn't know is in between, my cousin was like, oh my gosh. Oh my, she comes running out the room. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, he said he loved you. Who are you talking about?
So then 5 minutes later, I get another text. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. That was my cousin. I didn't really say that. And I was like, see, this is why, like.
Oh my.
hot.
I was so upset.
He was hot. I was confused.
I was
He
heartbroken. I was like,
oh my
what was going on?
Oh, Tito.
But that was our first experience.
Oh my God. So was there a recovery after that?
I mean, we got married.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, but I mean, like, how long was it? I don't know. Did y'all revisit the I love you?
Well, yeah, it was a tough situation. I wasn't really feeling her cousin.
Yeah, it was like, I think we went into the whole like, why did you do that? You know, type thing. And I think it also jumped us to a place that we may not have jumped to. You know what I mean? Like right there, because you can have like feelings for people,
but you don't necessarily
right. You're still working things out.
Right.
You're still processing. Like, is this gonna work? Is this what I want to do?
And this kind of catapulted,
right?
Yeah, kind of catapulted to the next level really, really fast. So, I mean, was it a good idea to do it at the time? We don't know.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have had that conversation for a little while. Yeah. Wow. I mean, we had to have it. Then it was just kind of like.
So at that point, I was like, "Well, do you love me though?" Like, you know. So
yeah, and I think I wasn't really sure where I was, you know, because I was coming out of a previous marriage, and so I was just like, I'm not trying to jump, you know.
Yeah.
And so, and I think he knew that, and I think that was why he wouldn't have said anything.
It was it was a tough situation.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, cousin. Do y'all still like her?
Well,
okay. We don't say no names.
No. I mean, it took a minute. She was going through, in fairness, well, not fairness, but she was going through her own divorce at the time. Okay. And so there was other things happening, and so I kind of she got a pass with me.
You said with
Akita, like not with me.
She got a pass with me.
She's good.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
Oh wow. That I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking like,
Donjia. No, just kidding.
And she was like, I helped y'all. I knew. Okay. I'm like, well, we didn't need your help.
Okay.
Baby girl.
Well, give her credit. Thank you. It's like, no. Akita's like, we not. But I was not expecting that story. I was expecting like,
I know we went all the way left.
I know.
No, but I appreciate it. Listen, we need all the realities, all of it. Okay.
Yes. That's how it went down.
Okay. Question number 4 is specifically for you, Mr. Akita. How did you know, other than the text message, how did you know you wanted to marry Tisha?
Well, the text message let me know it's going to be an interesting relationship. No, no, but I think what drew me to Tisha was just her. She had like this aura, this mystery about her. You know what I mean? I think she had been through some previous relationships that created certain walls and certain blockers. You know what I mean? And as men, we want like that challenge. We want to hunt, you know, we want to capture what we want. So that intrigued me. And like, I was really like pursuant of her. Like, I'm going to pursue this woman. Right. So as we started to peel back the layers and started to break down those walls, I started to learn more about her, that she was, you know, caring, and that she was understanding, that she was intelligent. Like, our conversations were like fire, you know what I mean? And to me, like, you know, obviously we go by what we see. My wife is beautiful. She got a great shape, all that good stuff. So, but what makes me want to stay with somebody is your mental, and like, what does your heart say? And, you know, what can we talk about in conversation? And she was meeting all of those needs. You know what I mean? So that was like, you know, this is the one for me. You know what I mean? We were like transparent with each other. We were like honest with each other, and like, we didn't judge each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we were just like, we were connected on a whole nother level. So.
Wow. Ladies, listen, it is more than your body yaddy. It is your mindy okay? It is more than that. And I think guys say that a lot. And I think with this generation, it's so difficult for them to see what is said versus in what they see, because we see what is promoted. We see what a guy is looking at on TV and all that other stuff. I tell my students all the time, being that I teach high school, I'm in that age range, and I'm just like, yeah, your body will change.
Exactly.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Let's get this education so you can have like something up in there other than I'll be like, like let's get some more in there. But everything we see now is the body.
I'm telling you. And just to, so that other guys and boys can or even, women and girls can know that, what we see attracts us to a person, but what makes us stay is deeper than that. So just because you attract someone doesn't mean you've won. Like, what makes us stay is the conversation, is what you're thinking, is what's in your heart, is your values. Are you placing value on yourself? That's what makes us want to make it long term.
Words from the wise to the wise. Okay?
Stay woke. Stay woke.
It's hard being woke, boys. Hard being woke. Okay. Tish, same question for you. How did you know you wanted to marry Akita?
Well, I think, Akita alluded to the fact that I had previous relationships that were just like crazy and toxic. And so by the time that we connected, I was like super clear on like what I did not want to do. And, I like, he mentioned those walls that I had up, and I definitely had those walls up, but it was walls. And then also like, boundaries, like I had my list. I don't want to say I had a list, like I didn't have a written down list, but I definitely knew like I wasn't interested in playing any games.
Right.
I wasn't interested in anything like short term or anything like that. And I also knew that I wanted to be me. Like prior to that, I felt like I was always dumbing myself down in the other relationships, and I didn't really have an opportunity. I was being, the wife, the mother, doing all these things. And I needed to find out who Latisha was.
Wow.
And, Akita really helped in that space. I think it made me more than just a mom. Be our relationship, our conversation, him being interested in the things that I was interested in, us being able to have those deeper conversations. Your girl, I wasn't never going nowhere. We went out all the time. We did a lot of stuff. And then I think too, in my previous relationship, we were not spiritually in the same place. Like we have two different faiths. And so for us to be able to have the same faith, to be able to pray together, to be able to go to church together, like I wasn't even going to church with people to be able to worship. And so I knew that he was the one when he began to meet all of those needs, those things. And he was super patient. He was super patient with like,
Jesus. The Lord.
If I could fall out right now, I would. The Lord.
The real
all
MVP.
Credit.
The real MVP.
I was scarred. We come out of these relationships and sometimes we want to act like they haven't impacted us, and they have.
Yeah,
like we want to jump from relationship to relationship. And you got to clear up the stuff that you're dealing with.
Yeah, on both ends. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I mean, he was super patient. I was like, and in the relationship I came out of, it wasn't a faithful one. So I was on guard for everything. What we looking at? What we talking about? What we
Why
doing?
you didn't introduce me to her?
Right.
Why I don't know
what
her
you
name?
Singing? Because he wasn't always singing Jesus music now. And I was like, so what you looking for? People that throw draws? Like what's happening? And so
Akita. It's like no.
What?
So we had those conversations.
Started from the bottom, now we here. Okay.
Yes, I think our, in the beginning, like he was doing some secular stuff or whatever, but we weren't really serious. We were just dating. And then when it became, when the
I said I love you.
Right. When the conversation shifted.
When I told your cousin I love you.
It was like, okay, well, what, there are some things that we need to make sure align with us. And he was willing to make the adjustments. Like I'll say, I know he gave some advice to the men. I'll say to the women that if somebody really wants to be with you, they'll make the adjustments that they need to make in order. And it doesn't mean that the women won't have to make adjustments, but just like he said, men, they pursue what they want. They'll make the adjustments that they need to make in order for you guys to be together.
Yes. Wow. Oh, look at that. Yeah. And then they looked at each other at the end. That was so great. No, but that is so powerful. I think as women, if we are honest about our scars, right? I do firmly believe that God has, if marriage is a ministry that God has called you to, because that is another component just specifically for me that I had to evaluate. Like, okay, God, did you, is this something you think I can handle? And then realizing that God will grace somebody to be able to deal with, like you said, Akita had patience. My husband has, and will forevermore have patience, because there was a lot of things. I was always the goer. I was in ministry. I was doing this. I was doing all of those things. So it wasn't until I came out about like suffering with depression and being super sad and having suicidal thoughts that people even knew about it. So when my husband and I met and we were like, still friends, but once we decided that this is what God had called us to, God was like exposing myself. And I'm like, I don't even want to show this man this. And you got me crying and throwing tantrums. I don't want to do this. People don't see this. But God is like, I need to show you that he is equipped. I have equipped him to handle this. Yes. But it made me feel safe. It made me feel secure, which is something that I did not feel in past relationships. Or just even with people, like, because I was always the listening ear. I was always, that thing for people. And I never really would open myself up to others. But God needed to show me, like, you're safe here. You're safe. Wow. That is beautiful. That I know y'all been trying to get us on this here camera. He be behind the camera.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Listen, we prayed about it, so we know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, he gonna warm up. The first one was the YouTube video I did with him. After that, he was like a whole nother year later. But okay, question, where are we? Number 6. What has been the biggest challenge in marriage for you both? So it could be similar. I'm pretty sure it may be different. But what has been the biggest challenge in marriage for you both?
You can go first.
I think that, we've had a lot of ups and downs, just to be transparent. Every marriage has struggles and challenges, but I think what has probably prolonged the longest has been just this weird pandemic, quarantine, situation that we're in right now. I think what it has done is it's shaken up where it's exposing the different things that we might have been struggling with. You know what I mean? So like, just not being able to go to work and kind of have your separate lives. Everybody's just kind of compacted in this small sardine can. And, having to be around each other all the time, you really get to know a lot more than you thought you did, about your relationship. So I think that's been kind of just a struggle with working out how we're going to live this new normal. How we're going to, although we're together, we're not necessarily spending quality time. Like we need to still allot quality time with each other. We still need to be creative and intentional about not having other distractions so that we can pour into each other and build our relationship, and separating ourselves from the kids so that we can have our alone time, like all of those different types of things. So,
yeah, I would definitely say, in the quarantine, I think the quarantine probably exposed things that maybe you did not necessarily know about yourself, right? Yeah. And so I think that navigating change, but not just like the outward change, but your inward change, because we're always growing and learning and adjusting. And so I think the more that you start to change, because we change, like we've been married almost 13 years. So the people that we were 13 years ago is not the same people
Right.
that we are now. And I think sometimes you can get comfortable in that 13-year ago person.
Right.
And then not being able to continuously learn each other, you know? And then I think when you get into the pandemic space where you're now closed, and it's like, wait a minute, like a lot of things have changed, a lot of, you know, growth has happened. And even you not recognizing yourself at some points because of all the other stuff going on. And then your spouse now having to relearn you or re-understand you. I think that has been probably our biggest challenge, you know, in the almost 13 years.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same things. Just like, you know, just really
pandemic.
she just said it better than I did. But
what's the biggest challenge? The pandemic.
But what the pandemic has brought out of us as individuals, I think.
I don't even know the percentage, but there are so many people who ended up filing for a divorce during this pandemic. And I think it's due to the fact of everything that you're saying, right? Like you can be separate, you go to work, you kind of prepare yourself to go home, right? So you have your time away, you get to, you know, do all these things, but now you are working from home consistently, like you don't have that time away. And like you said, if you're not being intentional, if you're not focusing on how to create the new reality to make it fit and make it work and readjust and realign, I just kept seeing like blog after blog, celebrity couples getting divorced. This person is getting divorced. I'm like, Lord, what the people don't like being home. Lord.
Exactly.
They don't like the home person.
If you think about it, it's already an adjustment when you get married and when you're living with someone. Right. It's a whole nother adjustment when you're with that person for most of the day.
Okay.
You've created years of habits. So like if for years, if you've been going to work and then you've been socializing with those people outside of work, and that's kind of your break or your mental space or whatever it is that you're doing. And then you create another habit where you come home and this is when you're dealing with the kids and this is when you're dealing with, you know, the spouse. And so now for years, you've been doing that
all the time at
24 hours.
Behavior, right? So now you have to reshift your behavior and like with no prep time. It's just like,
let's just
go. Reshift it now. And everybody, I think, handles stress and change different. And I think for everyone to have to handle it at the same time, not just the couple, but the children, like everybody is dealing with this traumatic,
in their own way
event at the same time.
Oh man. Oh yes.
They made me get so deep on
sorry,
you.
sorry.
Oh,
no, listen, I this is real. Like it's not a matter of being deep. This is reality. Me being a teacher and needing to bring my classroom home. One, I did. That was an adjustment for me alone. Like, okay, on. So and then like to log off the computer because right before marriage, like because we got married at the peak of the pandemic. So like right before this, I was conditioning myself while I was in the building. I'm like, all right, I want to get used to leaving work here. So when I go home, you know, I'll be able to focus on what I need to. So once we're married, I'm already used to it. And then it was like, bring work home. And I'm like, well, what I'm supposed to do now? I don't know how do you leave work at work and work is home? I didn't know what to do. So the beginning of it, sometimes I was on a computer till like 11, 12, 1 o'clock, grading, doing stuff. And I had to readjust, like, no, I still have to cook. I still, you know, my husband and I like to watch movies. So we need to make time for that. We need to step away from the computer and be intentional with doing those things. But it was difficult because it's like, again, I'm an overachiever. I don't want my work to pile up on me. So I'm like trying to get things done. But literally I had to be like, all right, this time, whatever is not done, I'll get it done tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it.
The work will always be there.
Yes. And but it took time to adjust. I thought I was doing something good before the pandemic. Hit, I had it on lock. I left my laptop at work. I didn't bring any schoolwork home, anything. I was ready. And then it was like, well, we need you to bring it home now because we're not coming back. I was like, oh, and we haven't been back since. We haven't stepped foot in the building since March of 2020.
Wow.
And it's so getting ready to be a full year that I've been working from home. Yeah. So I understand it. It wasn't deep. I completely resonate snaps to all of that. So question number 7, tell us about your family. And we're going to insert pictures. So please make sure you send me all the pictures of your beautiful children. Tell us about your family.
You want to take the first half?
Yeah. We have a blended family. So I came to the marriage with 3 kids, and Akita came to the marriage with 1, and then we had 1 together. So we have 5 kids. Mm-hmm. It's always been very big. So we never really had that alone time.
That honeymoon
just
stage.
Yeah. It's always been children, a lot of children.
busy.
But thank God now, 4 of them are technically adults. I like to say technically adults. And then 2 are in the house with us.
Okay.
So it kind of feels like we're empty nesters, except we have the 2. I think when you go from 5 to 2, it's like freedom.
That is a break. That's a breather.
Yeah.
So, okay, can you run us like their ages, their names? Tell us who's who, what do they do?
I'll say the name. So we have Dominique.
23.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Desiree.
22.
And we have Isaiah.
21.
20.
Gonna be 21 this year.
Okay.
We have Nadira.
Wait, so I think Desiree's 21. She's gonna be 22 next month.
Oh my gosh.
She's gonna be 22 next.
So she practically 22.
Yeah, in their 20s. In the 20s. They adults. Okay, go ahead.
Nadira's 18.
19.
She just turned 19. Last month. She just turned 19 last month.
Okay.
So I'm good. No.
Okay, look, he like, if I make a...
I'm thinking about, did she turn 20? She turned 19. She did.
And Makai is 10.
Yes. We got him down. He's 10.
Yeah.
That one's 10, no matter which way you flip it.
When they start getting older, you're not as responsible. Like, I got to remember this 10th birthday.
Let me just remember when the birthday is, not actually how old you are.
We know the dates. But the ages, it starts kind of like,
Somebody asked her how old she was. Her birthday was just yesterday.
Yeah,
she brought out the calculator to see. She's like, how old am I?
For like 2 years, Donjia, I was like counting. I was taking a year off of my.
I'm like, are you seriously bringing out the calculator?
My girlfriend was like, "Girl, you are not such and such. Like, you are not." And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And she's like, "You are not. You are not," because we're like the same age. Mm-hmm. She's like, "You are not." And I literally, she had to bust out the calculator. I'm like, "Oh crap, I'm not."
How you like what?
It's just like
after a while, it's just like I'm here.
After a while, she's just 24. Doesn't matter.
I am 24. I'm not even trying to be 24. 30 maybe.
30.
31.
29.
Yeah.
Well, I just turned 30, so I mean November of last year. That's the only reason I know that. But even then, I messed up because someone asked me before my birthday, and I was like, I'm 28.
Right.
Oh no, this year I'm 30. And I only remembered it because my grandmother and mother were super emotional that I was 30. I guess it's a thing. I was like, okay, this is
that's a milestone.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I was
great accomplishment.
When I turned 30.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay, so 5 kids. And like I said, we're gonna insert pictures. They are beautiful, brilliant. I want to say like, what are they doing in college? But I don't know. Do we know majors?
Yes. So they're actually doing all different types of things, and we are so super proud of them. The oldest, she owns her own like hair business. When she's doing that, she does does she do makeup too?
She does styling. She does
Y'all, the whole,
wigs.
yeah,
She does
everything.
wigs.
So if y'all need y'all wigs done,
Yeah.
Okay, we will put in description. Everybody want bundles and wigs.
Yes.
Everybody.
listen, she is,
Yes.
She does them. Yes, she
Yes.
does.
Okay.
So she's an entrepreneur.
Desiree, she is in school. She's in college for early childhood
Education with a concentration in special needs.
Yes.
Wanting
We need
to,
'em.
we were talking about this the other day, what she wants to take that into. She also wants to add the psychotherapist space to it. I'm
I
not
think
completely clear.
She wants to own her own school or something like that, right? Or
Yeah, I'm not completely clear. You know, they change a lot, like what they
Yeah.
want to do. She definitely is in education and she wants to take it, I guess, as far as she can.
yeah, super
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
So Isaiah, he is in photography. He also does web design. He's funny. So like, he's like a little comedian, and he's a musician as well. So he plays guitar, he sings, and he's in school now for photography.
Nice.
So we have Nadira, who's going to school for nursing.
Yeah.
She's in her
Wow.
first year.
Yeah.
She's in her first year. So she wants to be, I think she wants to get like, what's that? The level of nurse where you can like write prescriptions and stuff like that.
RN, I think it's registered nurse, I think.
Yeah, RN.
Yeah.
So she's trying to, be on that level. And then we have Makai, who is in fourth grade.
Yeah.
And he's doing coding now. How about that? He's like coding.
Yes.
He's all into this virtual learning situation.
Yeah.
They offering it. I see more coding ads than regular.
I'm telling you, like
regular
this is
ads.
His new normal. This is just his normal. Like he's like so used to this.
He's like, this is great. Okay.
Yeah.
I could just do this.
I think the younger ones, they do adjust a lot easier. But my thing is, if you're gonna play video games, why not learn how to like make them? Come on,
he,
bring
like,
the money
makes
in.
video games every week, and he's like, "Oh, Dad, look, tell me what you think of this one." And he draws. He's an artist.
Yeah.
He makes like little comic books. So their creative space is just like on 100.
It's gonna be so interesting to see how this generation that was in this COVID virtual learning, like what they grow up to be and how they, because
we used to go to parks, we used to go and play out in the street and do all these other things. So they're inside and they still need to express themselves. And these are different avenues of ways for them to do that. So
yes. And as an educator, I was just thinking, because like some daycares and stuff, especially here in New Jersey, they're open. But I'm like, well, what are the babies gonna develop like? Because most of their caretakers have masks on. And like for babies, when you teach them, because I've taught babies, it's all about your facial expressions. They look at your mouth, they're looking, and I'm like, these babies are gonna be able to talk, Lord. Come on. Like, are we sitting them in front of the TV? Because one of my friend's mom, she was telling me like her nephew, they drop their kids off at the daycare. They can't even go inside the daycare. They come out to get the children. So they've never even seen the inside of it, but like they could see it through the camera to monitor like what they're doing. But they have, the instructors have their mask on all day. So I'm like, this is going to be interesting to see like the new babies that were born during this time, like how they grow up, what their language is going to be like. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Question number 8. What are your current careers?
So I'll go first.
You go.
I am an entrepreneur.
Go tell them.
Okay.
A beginning entrepreneur. It's been about 2 years, but I'm still at the very beginning stages.
She's an entrepreneur. We don't put she's an entrepreneur. Ain't no beginner. She's an entrepreneur.
It is, for every entrepreneur out there knows that it is, you're constantly learning and growing. You're always a student. And so right now I do that. And then I do freelancing. So sometimes I teach on a professor college level. So I'll do that. I do some technical writing. And so there's other things that I kind of do on the side, but for my career, what I am looking to do is continue the podcast as a host, but also really just create environments that facilitate continued growth for women, and honest, transparent conversations that allow them to grow and, as a whole person. And so I facilitate that type of stuff. I do workshops, I do conferences, and yeah, that's me.
That is you.
Yeah.
All right.
And an author.
Yes.
Yeah. And an author.
And an author. So serial entrepreneur is what I would be considered.
Yes. You're doing a great job at it. So
the way he looks at you, so great.
Job. So for myself, I am also an entrepreneur. I've been working a little bit more in the space of our business consulting. I've been helping other businesses draft up policies, procedures, and technical writing. I'm working with somebody now who is they don't know where to start with their business. So we're starting from the ground up. And I also head the Couples Connect page that we have. So all of the content that you see, the editing, our interviews, and all of those types of things I do, really promoting healthy relationships and wanting to see other relationships thrive and be successful. We don't want anybody to get divorced. So we're trying to push for y'all to stay together. So we do that, or I do that. I'm also a musician. So work on music, writing. I've been in contact with different artists. Donjia, we got to link up sometime. So just those things. And I also have a 9-to-5 because we need benefits. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Said the teacher to the fly.
So I also do that. And what else do I do?
Did you say what the 9-to-5 is?
Oh, I work for a university. A Ivy League university. So
and he's
that's
a student.
And I'm also in school.
You do a lot.
And I'm also in school. I'm in school so that I can add more knowledge and benefits to our business consulting to grow that even more so. But just a lot, Donjia. It's a lot going on. Okay.
And this is why your kids are invested the way that they are, because they look at these examples like, what? I dare not come from a family like this and just be like they be probably challenging each other, like, you gonna do, nah, I'm gonna go.
Right.
I wish.
It's like, can you go wash the dishes? I'm like, are you serious?
Right.
We
don't have nobody to do that.
Man.
I wish.
Man.
But prayerfully we'll see the fruits of our labor.
Yes, you will.
We are.
Yeah.
They just, the kids, they don't like to admit when you're right.
They don't.
They it by when they just start doing it.
Right.
So
yeah, that's me being a child myself. I understand that. I will show you that you were right, but I may not tell you.
I may not tell you.
I won't give you that luxury.
Exactly. Take what you can get, parents. Take what you can get.
Right. That's it. Just take it where it comes. That is it. So you kind of segue us to question number 9. I wanted you to tell us the story behind Couples Connect.
Yeah, so this was all as a result of the pandemic, right? So prior to that, we did have a podcast that we did where we talked about relationship issues and our story and how we work together as a business. But then we had other things that took precedence. Then the pandemic happened and we started to see ourselves in that weird space that we were talking about earlier. So I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, we need to have something that kind of brings us together because this thing is not working out for me. You know what I mean? So that's when I talked to Tisha about it and we started Couples Connect kind of with a selfish intent.
It was selfish.
It was just like, we did it so we can reconnect and we could find a space for us to just not lose ourselves as a couple. And then that grew because other people, they started seeing us. It was like, well, you guys are such a motivation and you inspired us to go on date nights and to talk about our feelings and to have check-ins and all of these types of things. And we were like, wait a minute, like this is more than us.
Yeah.
Right. Like we have to be intentional about this going forward. Like it's not just about us, and we are actually ministering to other relationships.
Yes.
So after that, we got like asked to speak to other people about blended families, we've gotten invited to talk to people in Africa or in the Congo. The Congo, and just other places where we've been able to tell our story and really push this thing about connecting couples to each other. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No,
it's
yeah,
only the beginning. So there's a lot more that we have to do.
Yeah, but it was so crazy because I remember like reposting like things that you would post because of course the content is just amazing. Mm-hmm. And then I would have friends like, oh, I follow them too. They're so great. I love their page. And I'm like, my friends out here, they made it. They made I didn't even know.
It's a community. It's a community. And that's what we want. We just want to build a community of people, single, dating, married, wherever you're at. Like this is a space for everybody to gain from. So not just us pouring out information either. Just
we gain. Relationships are hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. It takes an
intentional work. It takes work
and a continuous work. And so even when we talk to and meet other couples, we learn more things. Like even in us talking to you today, we take from it. So we don't come to it with the position of
we can only tell what we know.
Right.
But we're not experts over the whole. We're not like Mr. Couple and Mr. and Mrs. Couples or relationships. Like we tell what we know, and we also pull in the information that we need to.
Yes. But it is, like you said, during this time, I believe you all, I know for a fact that you've blessed so many people. Like, even though you said like it was a selfish thing, and you guys are working together, you're doing the interviews. So you did connect, but you are blessing other people to like be able to see your content, see your interviews, gain information. That's like the same thing for this platform. I'm inquisitive. I ask a lot of questions. I want to know all the things. And I've been like that since a child. My mother didn't answer them, and she'll tell you that blatantly. Like, well, stop asking all these questions.
I'm gonna say, did that get you in trouble? Because that tends to get us in trouble
all the time. Like, well, Mom, she said I used to always ask the question, like, is the moon the sun at night? And she used to be like, well, why you want to know this? Like, I don't know, but I was always asking questions. I was always inquiring. So something you want to do and something you gained or wanted to do for your marriage, you're doing for others. So thank you for starting the page. Again, it'll be linked. I'm not going to just put the @ handle. I put the link so people could click. Now you don't have no excuse. It's gonna take you right there. Just click follow. That's it. That's all you got to do. If you're not already following this amazing page. Question number 10. What have you noticed since starting this page?
You can take that one.
What have we noticed? Well, we noticed, to be honest, we noticed that for some reason people like us. We did.
Don't know why.
We didn't really. People think that we're funny, and we're not like trying to be funny. But I think that was one of the things that we instantly noticed, that people like us, and that there is a need for it. Like, we weren't the only people going through. I was like, again, like we've been through a lot of things in our marriage, but by far this season has been the most challenging. And so I think that people can relate to
the transparency and the honesty, especially with social media. We all know people promote the things that they want people to say, the good sides and positive things. And very rarely do you see the real conversations. So it's refreshing to hear a couple say that they still love each other, even though they argue, or even though they go through situations. They're not perfect, but they still love each other, and they're willing to work this thing.
Yes. Yeah, that and again, it's a need for it. again, I should have had the stats written down, but like couple content, marriage content was like, when the pandemic hit, it was one of the most searched things in YouTube and in Google. Like information and stuff on that. So that's one reason why, I wanted to have y'all up on here, because I'm like, you gotta tell the people what's happening. They need some help, okay? But people wanted to know. It was like questions like, my marriage is at stake. What do I do? I'm like, we Google stuff like that. I wasn't, like scriptures on, praying for my husband. Scriptures on. I'm like, the folk need the Lord. Help us. Come on.
Yeah, and we really just wanted people to realize that, problems aren't made for you to run away from. They're made for you to solve. Ooh. And we experience problems, and our first intuition is to run away from it. And the problem was not created for you to run away from it. It was created for you to solve. So,
but even in that, I think, because it's easy to say that, it's a whole nother thing to actually do it and to have to live in it. And so I think, one of the benefits is when we talk to couples and they can share what that actually looked like, because you can be like, okay, I'm about to solve this problem. And that person be like, not right now, boo. Like, I'm not feeling you right now. And so, but
even in that, it's how you're trying to solve the problem.
But what does that look like? See what I'm
saying? I'm with you, because I'm a person. Listen, like? I hear you with things people say. What does that look like? And I'm like that with God when I pray. God, I know you call us to forgive, but what does forgiveness look like to you? I say that to him. I know you call us to fast and pray and be obedient. What does that look like to you? So I'm the same way. Like, okay, what if I was groomed to be a runner? What if that's all I saw? So in my relationships, I told Bilal, I broke up with you more times than you knew. It was just the Holy Spirit that was like, delete that message, delete it. Okay. But I saw, not even saw, but I was groomed in a way of like fleeing from controversy. Like, I don't got to deal with this. I don't got to, and you think it's a good thing to just, I'm not putting myself in harm's way. I don't have to deal with this drama. But if you are graced for something, now you have to detox yourself from that. And you may not know what not running away from it look like. You just a runner. Yeah. I just want to just keep running. Take my running shoes and show me how to stay here. So I'm a firm believer. Give me the action steps. And of course, all action steps don't work for everyone, right? But I know how to take what I need from every person. Yeah. But yeah, I need to see it in action. What does that look like?
And to see like where it hasn't been perfect, like where it has failed, because if you are a runner, you're not gonna get it right the first time. You know what I mean? Right. And so I think it's important for other people to be able to see, well, they went through this, and then she said that, and then he did that, but then as they continue to press forward, they still were able to reach the mark. But I think that a lot of people, like when they hit that friction or it doesn't pan out, or I tried step 2, but then she did X, Y, and Z, I think that's where people are like dropping off. And so to see like, you just because that person didn't have hit step 2 doesn't mean it's over. Like, or
doesn't mean it failed. And that's what I was saying. It doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing that you did, but it's just another way to get to the same solution. Right. Being a teacher, there was old math, and then now there's new math. What I mean? So like new math. That like you guys sometimes. Oh no, just kidding.
I was like, we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow, but
as it relates to a relationship, we try to address a problem with a solution, and if we don't get the response we're looking for, we count it as a loss. And we may need to just find another solution to the same problem.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So
that's it. And that can look like help. That could look like counseling. That could look like therapy. That could look like watching couples connect. It could look like a lot of different things.
Yep.
Watching couples connect. Definitely add that on your list of things.
Shameless plug. No.
Yeah. You may need Jesus Therapy and Couples Connect.
Right.
Put it
Right.
on put it on a hoodie.
Right.
Jesus Therapy and Couples Connect.
Hold on. We're gonna have another meeting after this.
Right.
I love it. But yes, I'm a firm believer in action steps. And I also have come to terms that this situation may take me 2 steps and it'll be fine. But the next thing may take me 14. And it is also fine. that one takes more steps.
Mm-hmm.
It's just being willing to go through those steps and do that.
Yes. Yep.
So I love that. Okay. Question number 11. I can't believe we're almost done. Question number 11. Do you have any brand deals we can support?
Yeah.
So, yeah. We released a digital book where we give date ideas during a pandemic because we're still in it.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys can download that, click the link in our bio, and it's a free download. So we understand money is tight. So you guys can get that free download. What else we have?
We have another one coming out, which is going to be about how to handle conflict in your relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be coming out soon. We also have a partnership with Candid Candle Co.
Yes.
And we are ambassadors for her candle line. It's a 100% soy wax candle line that is like a 3-in-1. And
you can use it as a regular candle. You can use it as a
body oil.
And the scent thing, or
the aromatherapy.
Really?
And also like a body wax, like a body wax that you can put it. So it's nice.
And it smells really good. It smells really good.
I could tell because when Tisha went like this, I knew that it smelled. Women, we get excited about candles.
It smells. I'm not lying. They're lying, like it's all on my face. So, those are what we're doing right now. And we are working on some things for 2021 that we can't really disclose right now, but other things to come.
And we also do speaking engagements. We talk about being a blended family, if that resonates with people. We talk about relationship things with, growth and discovery and those types of things. So,
So any information of that you want me to include in the description box, please give it to me. But we're also going to put their YouTube channel link in here so you can go over there and subscribe. And it'll be in their description box so you could click and download. I downloaded the date night book. We did one of them.
Which one?
We did, was it movie night? Because we always do movie night. So I was like, that one don't count. That one don't count. We gotta do another one. But we gotta get away from these computers. That's that's a date night in itself. Pulling us away from the computers.
Get those electronics out the way.
Okay. But movies we resonate with. So like even for my birthday last year, I've never been to Sight and Sound. Don't judge me. Okay. I've never been there. I've never been. So last year, around resurrection time, when they showed the Jesus, like you were able to go on the website and they were showing it free, changed my life. So for my birthday, they have it now on their website where you can purchase their shows. So so we've been Sight and Sounding it up. I done seen Moses. Wow. We gotta watch Jonah. But
we saw Jonah in person.
We saw Jesus in person too.
Wow. Like when this pandemic is over, you absolutely have
to
go.
I know the visual is not nothing.
I'm telling you, being there is so crazy.
And they're so good with touching on the things that you don't necessarily pay attention to.
Yeah.
And they have a great way really of making it relevant too. Like the characters like, girl, what you talk about? Like they make it really like now.
Yes, they do. They do. And I loved it.
To the audience, we was like,
don't tell the story.
Oh, okay. Well,
she told me I didn't see it yet.
Like I felt like I could touch it. It was.
You can't give the story. She's like everybody dies at the end.
I haven't watched Jonah yet, but Moses. I was like, how they gonna do this scene? And then when it did, like the screens came out into the. I said,
It was
first
crazy.
off, I don't see how those people just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm real churchy. So I'd have been like up, I'd have been crying, I'd have been they would have been like, "Ma'am, you do it again. We have to ask you."
For real.
They were like, once you, if you were not in there when them doors closed,
right,
we will see you at the next
Oh,
break.
they got good ushers. They got ushers.
Look.
But yeah, so movie night is our thing. But I definitely want us to try some of the other date night ideas. We have to, again, it was perfect because it's like, what do you do? Like you normally would go out to a restaurant and that would suffice. That's like, check it off, or go to the movies. We used to do that a lot. We used to go to the movies all the time.
Yeah.
So it was just like, okay, what do we do? And now it's cold. It's like, I don't really want to be outside. Well, not where you guys are. You guys could have date night and picnics outside. But for us, we still gotta, but yes, we're gonna.
It's about 50-11 degrees right now.
50-11. I like it. 50-11. It's about 40 something, but cold, very cold. Okay. Question number 12. Through your marriage, what type of message do you want to send to your children?
You want me to go?
That was cute. That was so cute. So
we try to give each other the opportunity to, like, we give that look and it's like,
you go, I go.
Right. So I mean, for me, I would say I want my kids to see a healthy relationship, and not equaling that to perfect, but I want them to see a healthy relationship to where they can, see us maybe argue if we argue or have a heated discussion, or they'll see us, maybe being affectionate to each other. But whatever they see us staying together. They see us still loving each other and loving on each other. I want them to see us building each other up, and not talking bad about your husband and your wife. I just want them to be able to get what's different than what is promoted in the world. I want this to be the standard and this to be the new normal.
Yes, I love that. That's good. Sorry, that's the teacher in me.
I think that is possible. I feel like a lot of younger children or people don't really think that it's possible to stay married and to be in a healthy one, to be in a good one, in the midst of everything else going on, And so I think I will really want them to know that, that it's possible, that is important, and that it does make a difference. Like having two people in the household, having support, it can change the game. And not to say anything about like single parents or anything like that, because I was in that space, he was in that space. But there is definitely a difference when two people are able to love each other and to come together and to provide a stable house for children.
And really to see what it's like to be a husband. Like, what should I expect from a husband? What should I expect from a wife? Because more than us being great together, like, we have to be whole individually.
Yeah.
We learned from another couple about it's about two wholes walking one path. And if we're not whole individually, we're not going to be able to walk this one path successfully. So
that's good. That's good. And I love that you both talked about how, like, not perfect, right? Like, not a perfect marriage. And I think when we think like healthy, we think perfect. When we think like, and that misconception is always what ends a lot of marriages for people, because it's like, you snore too loud, I don't want to marry you. In the divorce, like,
you chewing all the exactly.
You eating all the food, I don't want to, so, and not even just the small things. Like, some people experience, I know some couples who experience things where other people are like, I don't know if I could come back from that, but they worked it out. Like, and that's, you guys talked about that a lot in the very beginning, like work. You have to work. We get up even when we don't want to. Being entrepreneurs, you guys know, getting up. I mean, you set your own hours, praise God. But you get up, you work, you grind, you make deadlines, you do the things that you need to do. It is the same thing in a marriage. Like, you have to make time, you have to set goals, you have to set deadlines, you have to make, time. And a lot of people don't put in the work. So we equate healthy to perfect without the work. It's an equation. Like, it all has to go together. So thank you. Question number 13. Can you both give individual advice to the single male and single female who are in a waiting season right now?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think for what advice I would give is that marriage is a lot of work. Marriage is a lot of work. And if you are not married right now, that is so okay. Because the amount, like what Akita mentioned about you being whole, the amount of work that you, number one, need to do on yourself is a great amount of work. And you want to put in that effort with yourself while you're waiting on this other person, because you absolutely, I think it's so important. You want to show up as your best self. Like, you don't want to, if you don't have to bring all your broken pieces, you don't want to bring all your broken pieces. You know what I mean? If there are things that you want to accomplish or things that you want to do, now is the time to do those things, because you want to come as an asset. You want those two assets to come together and produce something great. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times, as females, we want love, we want affection, but you can very well get love and affection from other people. It doesn't have to necessarily be in a relationship. And I think just redirecting your focus to making sure that you are the wholest and best person you can be, because that attracts the men. Like, seriously, like men. If you are, what I'm saying, when you are whole, and I don't just mean like successful in your career, so you're walking around and you're doing all these different things, but whole in yourself, you know what I mean? And you've done the work. If you need therapy, you've done the therapy, you've done the things that you need to do for yourself. It, I think, illuminates a light that is so attractive to people. And so I think sometimes people get upset about.
Because I just want to just add, and I'm sorry for interrupting you, honey. You're doing such a great job too. But I just want to add to that, just for women and for girls, that when you're not in a whole space and you're kind of in a broken space, and someone's trying to be in your life, if they're not building you up, then they're trying to take advantage of your situation. So you have to look out for that, because guys will sometimes see an opportunity and they'll try to take advantage of it because you are in a broken space.
Yeah. And so when I say whole, I mean like spiritually, mentally, physically, like you're doing the things that you need to do for yourself. And then the other piece of advice that I would give is, I'm like a therapy advocate, because it's so important to understand why you do what you do. Right? Like, where you got it from, where you took it on from, like, the way you think. You got to understand all of that so that you're able to communicate that to somebody else and that they understand. And then also some of that stuff that you do that you probably shouldn't be doing, you could, you can shave off the things that that is not serving you, and keep the things that are. And so that way, when you come, you're coming as an asset. That's just my advice.
That's good.
That was great.
That was
okay.
That was good.
Creating them spaces to facilitate growth.
That's it. That's what she do. So
so what I would say is I agree with being whole. I think as men, we have so much pressure, and as boys, we have so much pressure from so many different areas. We have pressure to see how many girls we can get with. We have pressure to provide, once we become a man, and to be successful, and we have so many different pressures that are placed on us that we are not even aware of. So definitely working on yourself to be whole and being okay with who you are and working to be the best you can be before you're getting into a relationship. Number two, I think planning and preparation. A lot of times we just want to jump into a relationship. We want to jump into let's do it. Let's get busy. Let's be intimate.
Oops,
and
she
then,
pregnant.
Oops, she pregnant.
Oops, we married.
Well,
Oops.
what is your plan? What do you want to do? And it's like, I didn't even think that far. I was just in the moment. Like,
right.
Plan and preparation. It's going to be for the long haul if you're trying to be in a relationship with this person. If you're not, then you don't need to be in a relationship like that. You could date, whatever, but you don't want to play games with people's time.
Exactly. Let it go.
Let it go. Or their hearts.
Or their hearts, because
folks go crazy.
Do you wonder why people like stalking you and people knocking? And I'm not just for the women, but men too. Like, we get crazy too. So
okay.
You gotta listen. And then number three, I would say just to remember that being in a relationship, especially when you get married, you are in the business of serving. You are in the business of serving your spouse, on both ends. So if you're not willing to make sacrifices, if you're not willing to put the other person before you, if you're not willing to build that person up, even when you're mad, and when you're upset, or you don't want to work towards making it better, then this is not the place for you.
Ooh, cha.
Work. I mean, can we just put that WORK?
Okay.
But
it is work. So
listen, and we don't want to say it like, oh, marriage is like this.
No, but it's work.
Hard thing.
I mean, but I think people know the good parts about it. That's why people want it.
Right. That's why I put it. Hello. But
I cannot. This guy.
Look, but
what they don't know is all the work.
We don't want you to be blindsided.
We're telling you the truth.
You have to put in the work to get what you want out of it.
Right. Otherwise, you'll be just like.
And we fight for so many other things. Guys, we go to the gym. We make sure that we're like putting our bodies through this stress so that it can get stronger. We work so hard at work, trying to get the sale and build this thing, build that thing. But then when it comes to relationships, we want it to be so easy, And it's like, if you want,
y'all might as well keep going. Y'all going into 14. Advice to married people. Go on, keep going, keep going.
We have this interpretation, this false interpretation of marriage that it's just gonna work. That if we look good together, if we're gonna have good looking babies, and like, you know what I mean, just like crazy stuff that people think of, and like it's more than that. Like, you have to put in the work. You have to seek help from professionals. You have to surround yourself around healthy relationships. I'm knocking on the table.
Yeah,
listen, we about to get it in.
He excited. This is me.
We're shaking.
Right. but you know what I mean? Like, you have to put in the same amount of effort in this, if not more, than you would these other things that are important. So
yes.
I just keep saying work, and work is not necessarily negative, because people will work for stuff, people work for that title or that name or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think people have a misconception that there is not the same level of work that is involved. And it's a different type of work. Most of it is an internal work on yourself. It's on yourself. And so you got to be ready to do the work. Oh, I thought I was the queen of the crop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got
again, sure.
Yes, you got to be ready to do that internal work. And I think it's probably one of the most challenging relationships that you will ever be in. It will challenge you in ways that you never anticipated. And so you have to be prepared for that.
Yes.
Yeah, your mindset has to be on that. And I think a lot of people don't bank on that level of work, self-work that needs to be done. Because it's the self-work in me that's going to be like, all right, you hurt my feelings, but I'm still going to cook or whatever.
Okay.
That's internally.
And still cook with love.
Yes, not just cooking like, all right, I cook.
It's
there.
Burnt.
There you go.
Burnt. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't put mayonnaise on it. Do it yourself.
Right.
You season it yourself. Like, still, do it with that passion.
Using Mrs. Dash when you ain't never used Mrs. Dash before.
Exactly. It's like,
no. This ain't how you normally cook. This ain't how I normally feel neither. So no.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, listen, I don't, because Like I have a lot of like single friends. And of course, now that I'm the married friend, everyone, they just negate the fact like I once was single. Like, so it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I only been married a minute. Like, what do you like? I'm not even a year in yet.
Right.
But I tell them, I'm like, if you are not ready to really meet you, don't get married yet.
Girl, that's it.
Don't. This is like one of the most profound introductions of yourself that you are going to get, and it is scary. It is like, and I mean, it's beautiful, right? It's a bloody beautiful. That's what it is. But wanting to work on myself, and when I tell you guys, like I learned things, and I'm like, really, like stuff from childhood that I thought was like okay, and like it really wasn't. It was just because we do this like push down method that we have going on, and it's just like out of sight, out of mind type of thing. But then when a situation comes, it exposes itself. Like, hey, I was just sleeping. I was in hibernation. I'm back. And then you got to deal with it. But now you have this other person that you are also learning and growing with. But now it's like, okay, what is happening? It's the double shift. You are double shift.
I think people highly underestimate how impactful their childhood is in their marriage. And so like that, and first of all, how highly impactful it is in them as a person, as an adult person. And so that's why I think like that you need time. Like, you know, there's no timetable on when you need to get married. There's no timetable on that. But you need time to know yourself. You need time to know yourself.
Yes.
Before you start adding kids, and I mean, maybe you already added kids. So now you need time to know yourself and know yourself as a parent.
Yes.
And then adding finances,
and then
adding work,
and then other people weighing in on stuff.
And learning how to do things together when you've been doing it your way, and finding that middle ground. Like we don't think about this. People want the wedding, people want the dress, people want the ring, people want all of these things. And then it's like, okay, after the wedding day, then what?
Like more?
Like, all right, now what do we do? Like everybody's not here. You know, the fog is gone. If that was something you did, you know, all of it is gone. And now it's like, I get to really see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all that stuff I thought was cute. It's not cute. It's not.
I don't really like it. But I'm here now. So listen, and it's not to scare people, but it is to wake people up to realize that do as much as you can do before the person, because there is work that needs to be done before the person. I told my husband, had I met you 2 years ago, we probably would not be married. Because there was just so much stuff that I had to get out of, heal from, detox from. So even once we met, there were still things, but it wasn't as much. It wasn't as much work. And it was things that I believe God allowed to, like, you know, I didn't handle them on my own, because he needed to be there to help me through them. But there was a lot of individual work I had to do prior to him. And I'm thankful that I did that, because it would have been a mess. It would have been a mess. Okay. Question number 15. Okay. You don't have it, but I'm got
like, this not on the list here.
You don't have it, but I have it. It is the bonus question, but it's technically not a bonus question because it's 15, but bonus activity. You guys have been married for almost 13 years, so you haven't played the newlywed game in a very long time.
No.
Okay, because you haven't been newlywed for almost 13 years. So there's going to be a list of questions that I am going to give you guys, and you are going to answer them by pointing to the person. Like, you know, if I say like, who's the best cook, you will point to the person. So if it's you, you will point to yourself. It is the other person.
This should be funny.
It's gonna be funny.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's a few questions. We're not gonna do all of them because there are a lot. but I picked a few of them. Some of them we kind of answered already, but answer quick, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about it. Don't do the look at each other, neither. Pretend you don't have 13 years, okay? Who made the first move? Okay. Who paid on the first date? Who was the first to declare their love outside of the text? Who's more romantic? Okay. Who plans more elaborate dates? Yeesh, you taking too long.
I know. I'm like, well, how long ago did that happen? But I'll get it back.
We in a pandemic, y'all.
How long ago?
We in a pandemic.
I can't remember, I guess. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Who's the best driver?
Who obeys the law?
If you mean by obeying the law?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what you mean.
Who has the least tickets? Okay.
They're parking tickets, not.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Who's more likely to talk their way out of a speeding ticket? Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't even know.
I'll just be like, sorry.
Right. But you be like, first of all,
I'm
you
not
ain't
even
gonna
getting
do
the speeding ticket. I won't be speeding. So
Okay. Who's better when it comes to directions? I think that is like a global thing. Women are, because we don't mind looking and asking. I think that's what it is.
Right.
And we pay attention. I think like, we're just like,
I think this is
well. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think if my husband and I would answer that question, it would be him. I GPS everything, so I don't know if that counts. I will GPS the corner store if I'm not sure. I'm not. I don't like being lost.
I like sightseeing, so no.
That's what it is. Okay, I'll say that. Okay, who's the best chef? Really? Okay? Not you, Akita. Don't answer. See, what's the last thing he cooked that was like, oh, I see you?
He made some salmon. That was good. And he also we have chicken or turkey that we cooked from the night before. I'll cut it, put it in the microwave. He up here sauteing it, putting it on I'm like, it's already cooked. What we doing? Seasoning.
He want to redo it. He want to redo
chives, you know.
And then I'm onions. Like, eat my little microwave.
Get a little bread, put some mayonnaise on. Got a turkey sandwich. There you go.
Some bacon sides. And I'm like, what?
Okay. Who's a picky eater?
You don't like to eat certain Chinese food.
No, she didn't like the way you answered so fast.
Yeah. Who is the most?
I guess.
I eat anything. Like it's just
okay. Well, what don't you eat?
I don't eat chitlins. I tried it, but I don't eat it because I don't like it. Okay. I just tried liver yesterday, but I'm not eating that again.
I think I'm more picky. Like when he asks, "What do you want to eat?"
I think that's
you never know what you want to eat.
I don't know what I want. Like I gotta feel.
We go to the drive-through and I'm like, "What you want?" She's like,
I guess I'm
like,
picky.
We've been sitting in this line for like 20 minutes.
Y'all ever seen that meme that they pulled the video clip from The Notebook? And it's like how women are when you ask them,
what do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
I have to go.
They want, like, what do you want? I don't know.
In the video. That's us in the video. What do you want? What do you want?
We should be like,
I don't know either. I mean, unless I'm like, oh, I really got to taste, because first off, defense, when we do have a taste for something, you guys will go, I don't know. I don't think I want that. So then when you ask me, I don't know. Because I told you, I told you what I wanted and you didn't want it. So,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Who handles the groceries? Okay. Who's a better tipper? She's like, I'm not.
She's like, tip.
I was like, what tipping? Okay.
I'm a picky tipper. I tip great, but I'm picky. I will write on your receipt that you get back. If I don't give you a tip, why I didn't. I'm that person. Yeah. Maybe because I was a server. So I expect too much.
I used to work as a server too. So I know what goes on behind the scenes and how hard of a job it is. But if you do bad service, I'm walking out of there not paying nothing. Like,
okay,
you're getting this meal for free.
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh man. Okay. Two more. Who's more likely to steal all the covers on a cold night? Very true. I agree.
He steals all the covers on a hot night. But
It's hot to him. It's cold to me. It's cold to me.
Y'all, the temperature radars are different.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, last one. Who snores louder?
Yes.
Apparently I snore. I don't.
I'd be like, you're like, huh? You're snoring.
Okay, that is all of the questions. We could have. It's like
That was good.
86 of them.
That was good. That was fun.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It was between that or this or that. I wanted to do this because I thought the answers would be interesting for some of them for me to know. But I want to thank you all again for being on Ask 15 Questions. Thank you for all of the insight and sharing your story and giving us all of the information. Give us again your handles for the Couple Connect. I think I just said it, but just give us all the information of where they can find you, where they can follow you, websites, all the things. Even though it will be in the description, just tell us all of it now.
Yeah, so you can find us on all of your major platforms: Facebook at Couples Connect, Instagram at _Couples Connect _, YouTube at Couples Connect, and TikTok. We on TikTok, y'all. We doing a little dancey dance. At Couples Connect on there as well. But follow, like, share, click on the link, see what we have going on. So,
okay, and Tish, you can tell us about your podcast, where we can find it, where we can go.
Yes, you can find my podcast. It's available on just about every platform. I'm happy about Pandora. I just got on Pandora, and it's called Boss Ladies Connect. My website is www.tishatalks.org, and my IG handle is at Tisha. Is it Tisha _talks?
it is Tisha Talks.
I think it's at Tisha _.
I'm about to tell you right now.
It is
Tisha _talks.
Talks. That's what I didn't say. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can find me there. Facebook, Tisha Talks, all those good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And thank you guys again for being on here. And as I tell you all the time, make sure you are living in purpose on purpose. Bye.